Imagine having the ability to change alternate timelines without affecting your own. I'm Space Admiral Candace.
I'm Space Cadet Shane, second class.
You are listening to Sci-Fi Book Pod. Today we are chatting about Agency by William Gibson. Our visiting dignitary is my personal favorite audiobook narrator. He is the award-winning, amazing Paul Heitsch. Welcome, Paul.
Hi, welcome. Thank you. I'm delighted to be here.
It is a delight to speak with you. It is an absolute delight to speak with you. Shane and I will often choose the next book to listen to based on the narrator, and you are one of our go-tos. So thank you for being so incredible at bringing books to life.
Oh, gosh. It's all part of the service, ma'am.
Okay, that's not why we're here. We're here
Except
to talk
the
about...
flattery.
Fine. I'll take the win.
I'm an artist all the time. I get kudos from people and this, that, and the other thing. That's probably one of the hardest thing I do.
I've never been able to gracefully accept a compliment.
Yeah,
it's like I have to say something insulting or inappropriate to just like to defray my discomfort.
You're in the right place for that. You can be as snarky as you want here. Okay, so Paul, why did you choose Agency as our book?
Yeah, why, Paul?
Today?
Why?
Because it's by William freaking Gibson is why. I started reading Gibson when he was publishing short stories in Omni magazine when I was in college in the late 70s. And I've been reading everything he's written ever since. As soon as Neuromancer came out, I snapped that up and read it, and it was almost life-changing to read something that was that thoughtful and intelligent, and also was just such a compelling story. His vision of the future was so prescient, and he coined the term cyberspace.
Oh.
And yeah, he predicted basically this, the ability to interact in real time remotely and to create immersive virtual environments that you could put on a headset and just be in this digital representation of a world, of an artificial world.
So in this book, when they put on the headsets to immerse themselves in this virtual world, it is an actual real alternate timeline.
Well, in Agency, yeah.
In Agency, yeah. We're talking about Agency, dude.
Yeah.
Snark alert.
Well, yeah, we did take a slight turn to talk about William Gibson.
So, but when they put on their VRs, they are actually affecting a timeline in an alternate reality.
Yeah.
And immediately I think ethics. Is this ethical?
Oh, he addresses that in the books and how there are people who are trying to use it for unethical purposes.
Oh, it's not so.
And there's the struggle in the alternate timeline of the people who are like just trying to figure out what the hell is going on. And kind of grappling with the idea that they're talking with someone from an alternate future.
It's not their
who has
future.
the ability to manipulate events in their time and place. And then in that alternate future, there are various parties who are vying for control over these different timelines, and it's very high stakes.
I could never figure out why they wanted control over these timelines.
That you and me both. It's never made explicit what it is they think they can achieve by doing this. It's more like just sort of a hobby that became something more. They realized that they could create these stubs, they're called, where they branch off of a timeline, and they can transmit resources, like they can finance things that go on in these past alternate timelines. And so there is some way to connect events between these alternate timelines and their future version, their particular version of the future. And so it's possible that if they can manipulate a timeline such that there's like a spill forward of wealth and influence, then that may be the payoff for them.
But in the two timelines that we are reading about in this book, they don't really converge because they've separated before 2017.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a very interesting concept because basically these people from the alternate future are playing a video game with real people.
Yeah.
Shane?
Yeah, it's.
I'm listening to you two. I'm just going, wow, that's actually quite interesting.
I have a confession to make. I mean, I read this book probably, or I listened to it. All of my recreational reading is done with audiobooks.
Same.
Yeah.
This was over a year ago, and I've had to like do a quick refresher, but some of the details and of the story itself and of the themes is going to be I'm going to be a little rusty. So.
That's okay.
So the AI character
Eunice.
Yeah.
Eunice, which becomes an entity literally. And do they know where this comes from?
She was developed by the military. And then she kind of jailbreaks herself.
Yeah.
And the main character was hired by a private research firm to beta test the AI.
Yeah.
To basically put it through its paces and report on what she was experiencing.
But once she's out, she basically
she's
lets
out.
them out.
Yeah.
But there's another ethical question there because they use the memories of the brainwave, the brain matter of a real person to create this AI.
Yeah.
So there's
okay. That's what I was getting at is that I was trying to listen to it a second time myself at the beginning. I got the end part, the beginning part, and just that middle part was just kind of throwing me a bit.
Yeah.
But I was doing dishes too, so the clattering of the dishes. But really what my brain kept on pulling up, because my brain always looks for references. Okay. It's just a thing that I always look for references, to put it into a box, you could say, or so I could understand it a little better. And what kept on popping in my freaking head was Ghost in the Shell. Eunice is see, yeah. And the thing is that in the Ghost in the Shell, they don't know where it came from. It was just, and it was the puppet. They called it the puppet master in the beginning. And at the end, when basically in Ghost in the Shell, when he reveals himself or whatever, is that where'd you come from? And where'd you come from? And it was very similar. Where basically, so I kind of looked at this book like this is the precursor to Ghost in the Shell of where the AI consciousness came from, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That was like, for me, that was, the time travel thing. We've had so much of it lately.
Yeah, but I don't know if we can call this time travel. It's more of time. It's more like watching it on TV.
It's more like, just an information exchange between two different times.
Yeah.
They don't like physically travel between the timelines.
No, that's what's a little confusing.
They can communicate, and they can they have some agency. Each end have some agency in the others
which is why
present.
It's called agency.
Yeah.
It's not called agency because there's some agency. It's called agency because the people and the AI have the ability to Okay, now I'm losing the definition of agency. Independent thought, act independently, which is what agency is.
Yeah, and to manifest in the real world.
Yeah.
That's what makes Eunice so unique and dangerous to certain people. Is she can do stuff in the real world.
Yeah, she can find money.
She can move money
hire
around.
People.
She could
she can put out a hit. You know?
And she's basically she can do millions of tasks simultaneously at the same time.
Yeah. It's like I'm sorry, did you guys watch Person of Interest?
No.
Oh, okay. It's there's an AI in Person of Interest that is kind of like Eunice. It's able to like infiltrate every single surveillance device and correlate information like immediately in real time. And the guy who invents it creates a backdoor where it can help him prevent catastrophes to individuals. It identifies individuals who are about to suffer some catastrophe and then assigns our hero to go fix it. And he and Jim Caviezel go and fix things.
That might need to go on our list of what to watch next.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
We just got through a couple of series of Netflix, and we're looking for something else now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's time. We've watched Star Trek way too many times.
Oh, yeah.
But sometimes you just need to get lost in another reality.
Oh, sure.
And really, because this book is set in 2017 in a reality that is not the same as the reality that you.
No, Hillary won.
Yes, Hillary won, and Britain did not exit the EU in
Brexit,
this book either.
Brexit, yeah.
So I mean that right there is those two things change the trajectory of the entire world.
Yeah.
Well,
so it's it is not in any way the same reality that we lived in 2017. It's so interesting.
I think there's the world wants a do-over.
Yeah.
Well, what I really enjoyed about this book is they never once said Hillary, and they never once really talked about Brexit. Although maybe they did. They just said the other person won, the woman won. They never call out the two people, so that in your mind it doesn't have to be Hillary and Trump. It can be whoever.
Yeah.
It can be whatever two candidates ran. They never call her out. They just say, Madam President, the president. And they never call her name, which I find that it was an excellent choice on the part of Gibson, because then it's not as polarizing.
Yeah, and it never becomes quaint. Yeah. It never becomes quaint either.
Yeah. I've noticed that with actually, I'm kind of grateful that I am noticing that with I guess Frankenstein's not a sci-fi movie or show, but it's there.
I think Frankenstein is sci-fi.
The new Frankenstein that came out. Did you see it?
I've seen about half of it. It's one of the things I'm supposed to watch before I vote for the SAG Awards.
But what I liked about that, and there was another movie I saw, and this story actually is the same that I'm seeing the writing, is that they're not giving in other words, when Frankenstein came about, okay, they didn't have a whole scene where they basically, showed all the electricity and this, and he arrives. He just showed up at the end of the bed.
Yeah. And
there was a couple other scenes, and I like that because it doesn't if like this book, if you start naming people like that, you're tied in.
Yeah.
You don't, in other words, give the audience some credit. They have an imagination. Yeah. They can work it. All right.
Gibson's definitely writing for an intelligent audience.
That's one of that was one of the things that really first got me hooked on him was he doesn't spell stuff out. He doesn't. I mean, his writing is very rich in detail. His description of things is so concise and has so much depth to it. But he just sort of he creates these sort of what do they call that when you're frame the frame technology that's used when you're building 3D models, the wireframes.
Yes,
Oh,
wireframe.
That's what his writing is like. He shows you the wireframe and then he lets you fill in the to create the surfaces over everything.
So this book, because I'm kind of like I said, I'm more of a kind of a reference. I need AXYZs to map out the galaxy for me in my head because I'm a picture person. That's why this book was kind of like difficult for me to get through a couple things because there was a lot of names.
Yeah.
And I'm just going, oh, Jesus Christ, not another name. I just figured out where this one was.
Yeah.
But the thing was, like, the one book that I hate and love.
Too Like the Lightning?
Too Like the Lightning. I have this feeling that this book is a very similar book for me. Is that it's a love and hate. I want to understand it. I know there's something here. I know there's something, there's something going on here. I'm not fully getting it all. But I know it's there. So let me ask you a question, Paul.
Okay.
Since you've read a lot of this stuff, you've narrated a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
What is this? What is our fascination with this future stuff? This time, because now it always ends up to time travel, even Star Trek or any other almost like.
Yeah. It's like it's like the urge to read the ending of a book. Like you're in the middle of a book. This is just my take on it. You're in the middle of the book and there's all this tension and conflict swirling around and you don't have a feel yet for how everything's going to wind up and you just can't stand not knowing. So you jump to the end of the book. And I've done that with a lot of books where it's just like I gotta just know whether I'm gonna feel like it was worth sticking around to the end. Yeah, people wanna know how things are gonna turn out. That vacuum of knowledge, that vacuum of certainty that, okay, this is how this is going to turn out. This is why we have mantras like, it'll all work out. It's all part of God's plan or whatever to me, it's just a reflexive way of quelling that anxiety over not knowing what's going to happen. And so, yeah, I think that's at the heart of why we find stories about possible futures to be so fascinating. It's just a way of imagining one possible way that things are going to turn out and then, examining that and what implications that has for our present actions or events.
So it's almost like, whew, I'm glad I'm, I was worried.
Yeah.
So
unless you're reading Orwell.
For the most part,
we're in it right now, buddy.
Yeah.
For the most part, these books that are centered in the future talk about some sort of apocalypse that happened and dealing with the post-apocalyptic, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I want Star Trek. Everything's awesome.
That's a different kind of impulse. I think people want to think that we are living in the most significant time ever. That we are the
It kind of feels like it.
We are the one chosen generation of people who are living in this time when everything changes.
Yeah.
And it'll be considered this pivot point of history, of all of history. Whereas, I mean, it's much more likely this is all a blip.
Yeah.
It's just a blip.
Yeah.
And 100 years from now, nothing we do is going to have any lasting impact.
Yeah.
And that's a very, very harsh reality that most people don't want to confront.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
that goes to basically the I always go back to when people, I mean, because we all lived long enough that we all watch the TV commercials or whatever on religious TV. It's the end of times.
Yeah.
Pray, blah blah blah. Send me some money. And and
Yeah.
we'll
save you a good parking spot.
Right. But the thing is that when we were in Houston, there was a exposition of the Dead Sea Scrolls that was rolling in, and we went to go see it. And so one of the things that really I knew of them, but I really didn't know of them per se, or the story, how it basically was developed, how they found them. And what it comes down to is that basically there were some people who thought it was the end of times and this was going to be the times, and they found them in a cave.
Yeah.
And so this sense, like you said, that's why I asked the question, the sense of this whole thing of like, you're right. Everybody thinks this is the top of the timeline.
Yeah.
And they don't consider themselves as basically, well, no, it's a timeline.
Yeah.
You're not even a blip.
Yeah, right.
And the whole time travel thing. Even in I remember that short story. I think Bradbury wrote it. I'm pretty sure Bradbury wrote it. It was about the dinosaurs. They went back in time. It was a short story. And he stepped on a butterfly or a bug or something like that, the butterfly effect.
Yeah.
And he came back and it was just like, changed everything.
Everything was different. Yeah.
But
is that even possible? Is that even possible?
Well, if you go back far enough, any little thing, the more primordial goo.
There's another story, which again, I read in Omni back in the day, about this guy who is a time traveler and he can never go home, because just the act of time traveling has changed the timeline, and the timeline that he came from doesn't exist
anymore.
Yeah.
I think there's a Brian and Stewie episode in Family Guy on that.
We can talk about TV shows and time travel until we're blue in the face.
Yeah.
But the thing is on this one is that, like you said, they put a VR thing on and it doesn't affect their timeline kind of thing.
Because it's a completely different alternate reality.
Did you ever read, what was that one? The Gift of Time. You ever read
Nope.
That's a good
it's
one.
Excellent. Merritt is the author.
And he explains, he explains the different time frames really well. In other words, if you go back in time or whatever it is and you change something like that, time goes like this. So these never touch.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which was a good explanation, I thought.
Yeah, it did explain time travel very well.
Because
can we come back to agency, please?
Okay.
Well, we are.
Okay, fine.
This is why Janeway. This is why Janeway hated time travel.
The main character of this book is named Jane too, Verity Jane.
Can we time travel to like 15 minutes ago and have talk about agency?
Okay, so Agency is actually a companion book to another story called Peripheral.
Did
you read that?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Could you please explain the Jackpot? Because the reason why the timeline is different for the people in the future is because of a jackpot. So what is the jackpot?
The jackpot is a catastrophic cascade of events.
Post-apocalyptic.
That was triggered by COVID and by conflicts in Asia and the Middle East and economic crises, and they all conspired to create this apocalyptic turn of events. And so the people who are living in the future are in this very kind of sterilized world. There are very few species of animals and plants that survived this, so they're like having to make a whole new kind of economy and a world for themselves. And being humans, they come up with things that are very recognizably human and relatable. But it's all post-apocalypse, and so they learn that they can start playing with these timelines before the jackpot, and they start experimenting with different possible paths that would have changed events enough to have headed it off.
Interesting. And how much in the future is it?
I
don't think I ever got that.
I can't remember. It's something like 70 or 80 years. I think.
So not very far into the future.
No.
In this jackpot, in this future, they've figured out a way to genetically manipulate the way they look. I mean, there are people with 2 irises in their eyes and all sorts of things.
Yeah,
and
animated tattoos and
and it's so cyberpunk. I mean, they're just totally taking anachronistic things and putting them together.
Yeah.
And living to 160 years or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, and that's only 80 years in the future. Or no, that's only 60 years in the future. Oh my God.
Well, that's okay. That's from 2017. Peripheral takes place like in the 2030s.
Okay.
So it's later. This is like it's the same people. They're just dabbling in a stub that's earlier in our time.
Okay.
Is the characters? Is a couple characters are the same?
I don't. Oh, they can talk to characters from the peripheral stub. They can communicate with characters from that stub the way they communicate with the characters from the post jackpot future.
So what I found really interesting is that these 2 books don't have to be read sequentially.
Right.
And they're not sequels or prequels, but they're the same universe.
Mm-hmm.
You don't.
Yeah, his books are grouped that way. There's the Neuromancer series, which is Neuromancer, Count Zero, and Mona Lisa Overdrive.
What
which
a great
all
name.
which all take place in this imagined cyberspace future. And then there's the what's his name, Hubert Big End, where he's this guy who's like an Elon Musk type character is the head of this publicity company or this branding company, and he brings all of these unsuspecting people into his schemes. So that one's that's pattern recognition and all the world's parties, and I can't remember the title of the other one. His books come out like years apart. He is not a prolific writer. He's an iconic and very influential writer, but he's like Peter Gabriel, like you never knew how long it was going to be between one album and the next.
But whatever it was, it's going to be brilliant.
Yeah. It's going to be William Gibson.
So in Agency, the AI, the AI unit.
Fun. I love this.
So in Agency, the AI Eunice, she will oftentimes give assignments to people and make people say, okay, by the way, you're throwing a party tonight at 8:00.
Yeah.
And all of this is already set up. And, here's the, make sure that everyone's dressed and have the clothes. And I mean, she's putting deadlines on people too, so that things can get moved along. Because when you have too many players, that also prevents things from getting done.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But they sort of gave her control of everything. I mean, they just listened to her. So what are the dangers? I know that Paul has an opinion on this. What are the dangers of allowing the AI to run everything?
Well, the dangers are who's giving it the guardrails, and what guardrails are they giving it? There's all kinds of stories like war games where that nobody had the foresight to tell this computer, no, you can't start lobbing missiles at the Soviet Union. And it just sort of had to figure out by itself that it's an unwinnable game. That there's no strategy, there's no whatever. But it has to learn it itself. So yeah, the whole Skynet Terminator thing.
Yeah.
It's certainly possible. So it's up to us to humanize the AI and it either give it hard, impermeable guardrails, or imbue it with a value system, so that it favors certain outcomes over others, and the outcomes are like what we want in our best selves we want them to be.
Yeah. Thank you for saying our best selves.
Yeah. No. As few people in poverty as possible, as few people not getting the medical care that they need to have, to lead decent lives.
What you're saying, or what comes across to me, is that if you have futuristic scenario, but you can see it today, especially today, it blows my mind, actually. Now, my wife is the counterbalance of me, and I'm the counterbalance of her. We're kind of opposites in a way, but she's my no person, and I'm her no person in a way. So I am fascinated by basically even from local governments to regular businesses to what we have now, is that even corporate, Googles or whatever, there's no assigned job of somebody going, you're the guy that's supposed to say no.
Looping this back to agency, Eunice could have been anything. She could have been a force for corporate greed or military conquest or whatever. I think she imprints on Verity, who has like a pretty good working moral compass, and who is also like humble and smart enough to know that she doesn't know everything, and so I think some of that gets imprinted on Eunice as well.
I also think that once she discovers who she came from, she also draws from that. Like the soldier that she had been, also had a moral compass.
Well, so let's ask this question of Eunice. Because humans are flawed, and they'll make anything come true in their minds. But if you had an AI that worked logically like Spock, okay, and it runs the equations of a decision and finds out that decision, the end of that decision, or the reason why you're doing it. Let's say cure world hunger. Okay. All right. So logically, we all know this, but nothing happens. But we all know this, is that if we spend a little money today, all right, will save us a shitload in 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 years.
Yeah.
All right. That's logic. That is logic. So if you had an AI that controlled, the AI would see that.
Yeah.
All
yeah,
right?
and it's not constrained by the perspective of an ephemeral human lifespan.
Right.
It can think in those kinds of time frames, and not be affected one way or the other about whether it's going to be around to see the outcome or to benefit from it.
And also if greed is the issue, logically, okay, if greed is the issue, logically, it is better to spend a little now to take care, say, feed people, house them, and so on, that means that there are going to be more producers and more educated and making more money for you in the future.
Mm-hmm.
That's a logical stance.
Yeah.
All right. But human greed is, like you said, is about them and now.
Yeah.
So they grab now because they're not going to be around, like you said.
Yeah.
You know.
So agency was I am really looking forward to reading Peripheral because I'm really curious to see to learn more about Jackpot. But I also think I'll read this book again because it was a good story, and I didn't get all of it the first time through.
No, neither did I.
Yeah.
It's definitely one that you need to listen to twice.
One reading of a Gibson book is not going to do it. Yeah. There's just so much stuff in there to excavate.
There should be a warning labels on these things, man.
Yeah, you're gonna need to read this a few times. So strap in. That when read Peripheral before you watch the Amazon series.
Oh,
the Amazon series is very, very loosely based on the book. And,
there's a TV show?
There's a TV show.
Okay.
Well, yeah, one season so far. And they just put a lot of sex and martial arts in there that Gibson never ever put in the book. It's just
it's kind of like unnecessary.
It is. The stuff they got right, they did a good job of getting it right, but the stuff they got wrong is just hideous.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Paul.
Yes.
What is your latest project that has just come out? Do you have one?
I just wrapped The Last Dance, which is the last Terran Scout Fleet.
Oh, good
book.
I've been waiting for that one to come out.
Yeah, Joshua approved the masters over the weekend, and so it could be coming out any day. It could come out like today or tomorrow.
Oh, really?
He's referring to Joshua Dalzell, the author of the
Omega
my
Force
favorite series of books,
and the Black Fleet series. And
I interviewed him on my other podcast, Gratitude Geek, and the comments in the video version of the episode or of the interview are all, how come you guys didn't talk about Black Fleet? Why didn't you talk about Black Fleet? So, I think I'm gonna.
It's a much more successful series, if you can imagine that, than Omega Force.
Yeah. I like it. I like it a lot, actually.
I listened to the first one.
What I liked about what is how, because Omega Force is Firefly, bunch of characters, this, that, and the other thing. And let's put it this way: Omega Force, you can just sit down and relax, and the characters are fun, whatever. Do dishes. The Black Fleet one, all right, is kind of like it's. I feel like I'm a 12-year-old boy listening to it, because he really does go. He plays with like when in the first book where he does like shoots missiles and it takes a day to get there.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
It's cool.
Yeah, I know. Right.
But it's reality.
Yeah.
In space, it would take 24 hours for that missile to get there.
Yep.
One of the reasons why the Omega Force books are so enjoyable to listen to, though, is that you have created characters. I mean, Joshua created the characters, but you voiced them, and they come alive. And in a book like Black Fleet, where it's very military and very war, you've created characters there too, but they're not as engaging to me. And when I listen to a book, I listen to it to have fun. Not always, but that's why I enjoy the Omega Force series.
Well, they're not as colorful.
But you've done a great job across all of the books, and it's always a pleasure to listen to them. So how does the audience find you, Paul?
They can find me at paulheitsch.com is my website. So if you can spell my name, I'm really easy to find. Same if you want to see my work, just go to Amazon or Audible, type in Heitsch, because I'm the only one. Actually on Amazon there is an author named James Heitsch which is funny because I have an older brother named James, and I know he didn't write those books. And there's a German hockey player named Paul Heitsch also.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah.
So how many books do you do a year?
Between 35 and 45, depending on the length of the
Holy
books.
Cow.
I'm
You're
doing
putting out a
fewer
book
now.
every 10 days.
Yeah. Yeah, more or less.
Wow.
So you obviously you enjoy the crap out of it.
Oh God, I cannot tell you how I am still amazed at the luck that came to me at finding this work. I enjoy the crap out of it. Even when I'm doing books I don't particularly enjoy,
Right.
personally, just the work itself,
Right.
just making the art it's incredibly rewarding. Plus, I get to be in like my cave where I shut the I shut the door and the rest of the world just goes away.
Oh.
And I can choose to let certain things in, or I can just turn everything off and just zero in on the work.
Right.
This space, this little Mercury capsule of a space, this is my haven every day. So I love coming in here. Yeah.
All right. Paul, as I could talk to you forever. I'm so glad Shane finally got to meet you. I feel like we're old friends because, like Shane said, we've listened to so many books narrated by you that we feel like we know you. So this has been an absolute pleasure. That's a wrap on Agency by William Gibson. I'm Space Admiral Kandas.
I'm Space Cadet Shane, second class.
I'm Steerage Passenger Paul.
And you have been listening to Sci-Fi Book Pod.
I wasn't demoted this time.